Warning, the following episode contains spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home. If you haven't seen the movie yet...
Go! Run away!
Yeah. What are you even doing? Hello! Welcome to this episode of the Fan Man Podcast. I'm DJ Gove.
Chris Davis.
Sean Hogarty.
Harley Quinn Davis.
What was it?
What? A fourth voice? What?
What was that?
What's going on?
Ooh.
Special guest time.
Who let the kids in?
My father.
Fruit of my loins joining us for the conversation.
Yes.
Yay.
So this episode's all about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
New Spider movie came out. Everyone saw it, even Hogarty.
Which is shocking.
I know. It's
Only
like,
after being guilted into going to see it.
Nonsense.
You're welcome, Jen.
So, obviously the big, 4th of July week, big 4th of July movie. There's always one every year. This year, Spider-Man got the spot.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, we don't have the final numbers yet. I can look them up because it is like a weird 6-day kind of thing, but I'm sure they're
you probably
astronomical.
Yeah. You should get estimates sometime today.
Some point in time today.
It's going to be less than Endgame.
Oh, yeah, of course it'll be less than Endgame, but I
Which
expect...
is still less than Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I expect it to be severely higher than Homecoming because Homecoming didn't crack $1 billion. It only made I think 813 or something.
I love the fact that we think $1 billion is like the success line now.
Yeah.
For Marvel, it is now.
ridiculous.
It's
For Marvel, it is.
no. For the Marvel fanboys, it is. For Marvel, they made money way before that.
Oh, yeah.
They
no,
were
of
in the
course.
black before
Well,
the thing hit the screen.
Actually, as Chris likes to point out, this is technically Sony
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
because it's like a weird lease kind of thing.
Which is the only reason you got to use Whitney Houston at the start of the movie.
That was amazing.
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's a
that's
Sony
right.
song.
Amazing. Yeah. So once again, like you heard before the episode,
But I
we're
digress.
not holding anything back. So if you don't know what's
Spoiler
going on,
alert.
Run
you
away.
get the hell out of here because you're going to know what's going on.
But come back after you've watched it.
Yeah.
Especially, Steve and Chris, you have a choice to make.
I'm
We know you haven't seen shit.
This is February 2021. Chris is finally getting around to listening to this. Thank you for sticking with us, Stephen.
So redundant of how much money it makes, is the movie any good? So one thing they want to do with the younger Spider-Man is all the kids love Spider-Man. So Harley, how good's the movie?
Really good.
There we go. Thank you. Episode over.
So, no, talk about it a little bit. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place this against some of the other superhero movies you've seen?
A 9.
nice.
Solid 9. You seem to be smiling through the entire movie.
I don't get to go on podcasts a lot.
That's okay. Relax.
I think she suffers from my
It's
recency
fine.
bias. So was Spider-Man better than Captain Marvel?
No.
Really?
I
Really?
love Captain Marvel.
Really?
You were the one.
And this is why you
Oh my
can't trust
God.
kids.
You were the one.
You can trust me, DJ.
I know.
So-
So was Spider-Man better than the last Spider-Man movie?
No.
You
I
like
like the first
You like
Spider-Man.
the first one better? Okay.
She's a big origin story type person. She likes that world building
Okay.
kind of stuff.
What about the first, Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, the Homecoming when he went on the school trip? Was it better than that one?
A little bit, I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
Hogarty
Yeah,
making
sorry.
noises again. So the movie we saw last night, what parts did you enjoy the most?
I thought I liked Mary Jane with brown hair.
Yeah.
You like MJ? No, it's funny because I think this is part of your age, but you would get all embarrassed at any of the gushy stuff as they were flirting back and forth.
Yeah, that was my kids too. They
Yeah, actually
Ew.
you didn't seem to like
Ew.
that part at all.
There wasn't too much of that though. I mean, obviously it was romantic, but it wasn't that
They
mushy.
did the awkward high school thing
Yeah.
very well.
They did it very well.
Actually, the Ned and Betty was more romantic and ongoing
That-
than that was
Just
hilarious.
That was
weird.
perfect.
Yeah.
The way that whole arc was
Yeah.
perfect. So,
It was gross.
I know.
So what were your favorite parts of the movie?
I thought it was really cool that it was all a hologram that was doing it because it
The
looked
Waynes.
really weird.
Yeah,
it looked
Rey Mysterio
real.
did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hit on
It
it
was-
later. That was
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also why he's called Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
So what else did you? I know you came right home and grabbed a notebook and took
I
down some notes.
did.
So what kind of things were you jotting down that you wanted to talk about?
I didn't like that Mysterio's bad because I always thought he was a good guy, but I don't know a lot about Mysterio.
It comes from not reading.
So you were
Yeah.
surprised?
I was surprised. And I
Well-
didn't like that they called the mysterious end game where they all disappear the blip.
Oh,
yes.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
call. Good
Excellent
call.
pull, kid.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second. the way they handle it's called the snap. It's granted, people in the normal world probably don't know there was a snap that did it, but they call it the blip, the 5 years difference. The way they explain that in this movie is just trash.
Really?
I hated it.
Why?
To me, it was just like, it was lazy.
Justified.
Yeah, I'm
what
curious,
are you talking about?
Because this is usually my kind of a take.
Yeah.
And I have some issues, but
So all they go into is like the blip thing is like, oh, hey, this kid they say like, oh, remember this freshman kid? Well, now he's 5 years. Well, if it's been 5 years, he's not in high school anymore, number one.
Yeah.
The Asian kid. So that was number one. Number two, it's very convenient how all the kids that were in the first movie got snapped away.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
that's the thing that bugged me.
Drove me nuts. And and his teachers all got snapped away, and anyone else who made an appearance in the other movies was snapped away. So that way you have to worry about explaining anything. Very lazy, super lazy. Oh, Aunt May got snapped away too,
But you can't have a continuing universe unless
Yeah.
you can't have another Spider-Man movie
and Happy.
unless they all get snapped away.
So I remember them saying something about starting the school year over.
Yeah, they got snapped halfway through the school year, but they made them.
So they had to start over.
Right.
that
But
year.
so why, if Ned wasn't snapped away, or were they all snapped away?
They were all snapped away,
Okay.
but like they have like the Asian kid, and they.
But to
explain-
be fair, they're not saying that the Asian kid was in their class
their
back
class,
then.
yes.
He was a younger kid. He was Harley.
That's true.
how did they all know who he was then?
They didn't necessarily have to. They showed the pictures.
Well, no, but like Ned talking about remember when what's called was just like a freshman. Blah, blah, blah." They bring up the fact that he was.
Well, I mean, if you live in the same neighborhood, you know
You have one of- yeah.
kids and families and stuff like that.
Nah,
You're in the same junior high. You have the 5th grade and the 8th grade in the same building. You knew
I
him
found it
anyway.
kind of lame.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. So Harley, yeah, you didn't like the term the blip,
No, I thought they could have used a different name.
but I agree. At the same time, the way the current world works, a token, a name that comes up and gets used and goes viral is going to stick, right?
Yeah, whatever
sometimes
that
it's a
word
good
is.
one, sometimes it's a crappy one. But so yeah, you would have. What you have any ideas? What would you do instead of blip?
I would have called it the Marvel Crisis. And then they called it
Crisis? I don't know
what
DC
Marvel is.
Crisis.
But they don't know
But the-
Marvel.
but then DC would have sued them.
Good
Yeah,
point,
DC
yeah.
owns Crisis.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Plus, blip is like 4 letters and 1 syllable. The
Yeah, we-
Marvel Crisis.
We don't talk about
Yeah.
Crisis, right?
Yeah.
You're not looking
Crisis.
forward to that.
No, I'm not looking forward to Crisis.
Yeah.
Bad
I'm
things,
going to hate it.
Nobody's
bad things for
pro-Crisis.
everything Harley loves.
I know. Okay, so what's some other stuff? Oh, who would win in a fight, Spider-Man or Night Monkey?
Oh, Night Monkey.
Oh, the Night Monkey.
That's a
They're the
highlight.
same person, DJ. So I would
You ruined
say
it.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay.
But that's just because they're the same person.
Did you like the Night Monkey suit?
That was kind of ridiculous.
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, it looked.
I
It
liked it.
it looked like a special operations ninja, right? It
Yeah.
did.
If they were going to call him Night Monkey, why wouldn't they make him look like a monkey?
But the
was
suit
just
wasn't
for-
built
yeah.
to be Night Monkey. The suit was for him.
It's
That was
what-
just Ned
Yeah.
making something.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
funny.
And trying to hide Spider-Man
Yeah.
going with the field trip.
Yep.
So, how did you feel, Harley, about Spider-Man essentially becoming the next incarnation of Tony Stark?
hmm
I think Tony Stark can never be replaced.
That's true.
And you heard Happy, no one can ever replace Tony, not even in a
But you saw Happy's smile when he's looking at the back of the plane
hmm
Yeah.
when Peter's doing
Doing Tony
the
stuff.
entire Stark thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me this.
One of my favorite parts is also the big check.
You love that big check.
I
And
love
I think
that
that's
big
because
check.
you're fascinated with
I
the
need
pop
that
figure.
pop. I need that
I
pop.
know you
I
do.
have it.
There's a pop with the
You
big
There's
check.
what?
there's a Pharaoh pop with the giant check.
Just holding the
Wicked
check.
hard.
Have him?
Yeah, I have it.
Lucky.
Wicked hard to find.
We saw like tons of them
I
at
was going to
like,
say, yeah, we saw a ton of them.
yeah,
But you
somewhere.
didn't get one.
Oh, really?
Every store she went in, she's like, there it is again.
There it
Oh,
is
really?
again.
What a
Can I
crappy
There it is
father
again.
you
Can I
have,
get it?
Harley.
I'm an awful father.
And for the record, you said 5th and 8th grade should not be in the same school, but it is at my
No, I
school.
said they can be in the same school. I was
They
trying to
can.
explain. Yes, they can. Most
And it
definitely.
is at my school.
Okay.
I went to a high school 1 year. I went to 7th grade in a school that was 7th through 12th grade. I got put in trash cans.
I have a school that goes from 1 to 8.
Yeah, that's pretty
You
big.
do. And it helps that you're one of the taller people in the school, so there's no
Yeah.
trash cans in your future.
So her
No,
school,
there's no
her school is
track.
blip ready, basically.
Oh, she's blip right.
No.
She knows all the kids.
There's
are
also
blip
ready.
preschool and kindergarten, though, in a
Oh.
separate building.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't want to be blipped, and I won't be blipped.
So what were some of your other favorite parts? Anything else?
What else do I have in this? Peter is alive.
Yep.
Yep. The fact that
Beautiful.
Peter's there.
Yep.
That's
That's
what I liked too. I liked
You got to talk right into the mic, kiddo.
that Peter goes to Europe.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
That was cool.
Yep. Little production value and showing different places.
It's a nice little cheat when you're making movies because you don't really have to set dress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Europe itself is very
Mhm.
photogenic, so
That
out well.
works.
How'd you like when they showed up at their hotel in Venice and it was like a piece of crap?
Would you
That-
stay in a hotel that has water on the floors?
Do you think Nana actually saw that?
The
Venice?
sinking hotel? Yes.
She did? Wow.
Disclaimer.
Okay. Yeah,
Our
that was...
grandparents went to Italy in the not so distant past.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that hotel looked kind of weird.
That's why it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the hotel at the very end where it was fancy and the guy says, like, this is my home because it was so fancy, I thought that was kind
Oh,
of
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they call him Flash? It's a Flash in the DC universe.
Flash.
That's
It's
it.
a nickname, yeah. He's always been Flash.
Because I'll tell you why. Because the way it's supposed to be is that kid Flash Thompson, he's supposed to be like the big football star for the school, big like jock bully guy, and he's not in these movies.
Yeah.
So Flash
Still a
Thompson,
bully, but he's not. Yeah, he's not.
yeah, he's like a little,
bad.
he's like a rich kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Flash Thompson's supposed to be like, you know, like in the original ones, it's Joe Manganiello plays Flash.
Ah.
So
The weird thing is, though, because Flash loves Spider-Man, but he hates Peter Parker.
Yeah.
that's funny.
Strange dichotomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very strange.
Very cool.
Cool.
Any
So
last thoughts?
yeah,
How about so the movie ended up with a couple big reveals in the mid and end credit scenes. What do you think? What are you worried about, or what are you looking forward to happening
I'm-
next for Spider-Man?
I'm worried about MJ and everyone that Peter Parker knows because now Mysterio, before he died, he twisted what
Mm-hmm.
he said that Peter said was on a video.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and now everyone who has the last name Parker or knows
Peter? Yeah.
is gonna get in big trouble. So I'm thinking in the next movie, I don't want this to happen, but I think he
Certainly
may
a risk.
die.
What?
no,
Whoa.
No, I don't want him
you're
to
okay.
die.
You're
but-
okay with that. That ain't happening.
No,
Don't worry
they'll
about
kill
it.
off relatives before they kill off Peter.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he'll be the last one to go out of this batch
Yeah,
of
you
characters.
don't have to worry about that.
Thank God.
And then what'd you think of the last scene?
The last
The end credit scene.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Let's jump right into that because we'll start with
that
that.
was Zeke's.
That damn near ruined the whole movie for me.
Really?
I think it did a little because I thought Nick Fury was actually there, and then you're bringing in a little bit of Captain Marvel in there.
It
So
was
it just
the
gets
comment.
weird.
It was a little strange because of the temporal disconnect of those characters' presence on Earth, and now it's like 20, 30 plus years later.
Yeah, that was
Wait, did
90s? Yeah.
Yep.
30 years?
30 years.
Daddy, didn't Nick get snapped away?
He did.
Yep.
And then
He
he, came back.
did?
You can't.
Oh.
Yeah, but so it implies
it-
that Nick stays friends with the.
Did help
Yeah.
explain Nick not being Nick for the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going back and seeing it a second time, it's easier to pick up on.
yeah.
See, I don't think Nick Fury ever got snapped away.
You saw him get snapped.
Yeah,
No,
the
you
end
saw-
of Infinity War.
Talos gets snapped away.
Oh wait, you think
Because
so?
Talos like, oh, I saw you at the funeral. That was always, Fury's been up in space forever building sword.
Yeah, but the Skrulls
I don't know
have
what
recency
sword is.
memories. So once they assume a form, they can only get your surface memories, which would be this takes place right after the funeral. I have some other thoughts that
So
will go over
Okay,
your
we'll
head,
go-
kid.
so-
We'll get into
you're right. It takes place right after the funeral, which means you're right.
It was Talos
that
at the
was
funeral.
Talos at the funeral.
I don't know. See, that's why I didn't
or
like it.
Talos became Fury after the funeral.
Maybe. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
like it, but we'll get into
Nick
that.
stuck
Okay.
around long enough.
All right.
But overall, kid approved.
Kid approved.
2 thumbs up.
Harley approved. 2 thumbs up.
Excellent.
I can't say it's kid appropriate. I just love going to see these movies.
See,
Well,
that's good parenting.
Yes, it is.
I like hearing your opinions, and it's very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much
Well,
for coming
thank you
on.
for having me.
All right. See you later.
Harold.
Take
Adios.
care, honey.
So that was the kid review. I guess what do you want to start from the beginning on this, or yeah, I know we just danced around a bunch of stuff. We go right into the end credits if you want to, but
Well,
however you guys want to do it.
So my, as the one who definitely knows the least about many of these characters, my context is the current Marvel Cinematic Universe and Spider-Man: Homecoming. I had a blast. Wife and my daughters, absolutely. We enjoyed the hell out of it. Lots of laughter. I always like the leaning towards the humor, and obviously Spider-Man has a good tone and area for that. Yeah. I really loved in this movie MJ.
I love her.
I love her brains, her snark, her
snark is
her love of murder and I mean she's like, she felt real to me. She feels like a mix of my daughters and my niece. Like she felt real.
Just that shitty quality too.
But
which is a huge departure from the original character, which I'm okay with. I was pissy at first, like from before the first movie came out, but she's grown on me quite a bit.
But her like of Parker is plausible.
So let's just get this on tape for future reference. He is pro, white redheaded girls being replaced by people of color.
As long as they're not half fish, I'm fine with it.
There you go.
So,
I mean that's
good
really
attempt at sandbag.
No,
human play a mermaid. Fuck this shit. I want reality.
I want a real fish.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, she has grown on me. That I like. I would say this, like overall, the movies to me, I agree with Harry. It's probably about a 9. Movie didn't really have any downbeats.
No,
to me, it's a 1A, 1B between this and Spider-Man 2 for the best Spider-Man movie. As much as I love Molina as Doc Ock, I might give this one the slight edge because I just thought they nailed Mysterio. They hit a fucking home run with Mysterio.
I didn't know anything about Mysterio. I honestly wish I hadn't. I don't remember where the false note was spoiled for me. The fact that he's a bad guy. It might have been you guys. It might have. In fact, I think it was you guys.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure anything else set up. And so that's
if you didn't read the books, it was the way they did that flip was nice.
So that was my only, I wouldn't call it a negative, but that was the one thing that made the experience less for me, is that I knew from second one that something was up with him, right? And that I wish I hadn't.
Yeah. He's my favorite Spider-Man bad guy.
Yeah.
They did a nice job tying that character into the whole Stark lineage and the technology and the way they did it.
Yeah, because in the books, he's like a special effects Hollywood guy. Mm-hmm. This one, he's a Stark engineer.
But it fits within that. Well. Yeah.
And by a big plus for having Ralphie
Peter
in
Billings
the entire movie, pretty much. So Ralphie's back, which is nice. So no bunny suit, but still.
Yeah, well, him and Favreau and
they're wicked boys. So
I loved it. It was a blast, but she was my favorite piece of it.
Yeah, Mysterio is my favorite. Mm-hmm. Like I said, he was a home run, and Gyllenhaal's a wicked good actor, but the treatment of the character, he looked amazing. One thing I'm very happy about is, granted, you knew there's gonna be a bunch because it's a Marvel movie. They pay for the big actor; they're gonna show his face a lot. But they did just enough bubblehead to keep me happy.
Yeah, what's the actual role of
Snow Globe bubblehead?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was insane. Oh my god, that was.
What's the role of the bubblehead in the comics? Like, why?
Just his helmet.
Yeah.
Do you ever see his face in the comics, or is he always wearing the bubble?
You see, like in the early comics, he did, and he looked like every other run down old 50-year-old man in the comic book. But it was just easier to draw. But the way, like Chris said, the way they did the Spidey in the snow globe inside the helmet.
Yeah, that was.
I remember that from the books.
Oh yeah,
and it was just like. I mean, all those hologram scenes, you could not ask them to be any better. They were just phenomenal. That's what I was worried about. I think they're going to do a lot of that stuff.
Well, I thought the whole drone linkage to the Stark satellite tech to Edith to MJ picking up that actually held together for me pretty well, made sense without being overly complex. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because they didn't have her going like, oh, I figured this out. Like, no, the thing fell on the floor and she picked it up. So the camera or whatever, so.
Yeah, when it came to that, and she still didn't know what the camera was.
Yeah, she had no idea.
She figured out that he was Spidey, but.
Yeah.
She had no idea what that
I like how he's like, okay, I'm Spider-Man. She goes, I was kind of kidding.
No, she was 67% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how she gets cocky after the fact, too.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was pretty much all.
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it was all
I figured
It
it
was
out.
on me.
Yeah, I'm doing the work here.
That's realistic.
Yeah, they got they have
No,
talented kids in this movie, and it shows.
now see, it was the Mysterio. I didn't know what the end credit scene was going to be,
Yeah.
and it made it so much easier the second time around
Mhm.
once you already know the reveal.
Yeah.
But it was the interaction between Mysterio and Fury, and the fact that you see
Yep.
the Fury character sitting back while Mysterio's making all these smart ass comments and never apologize for being the smartest man. Little things
Yeah.
like that, where
You do
Fury's
go back
just
to like,
taking a back seat. Like
Yeah.
this, he doesn't play it like Fury at all. He's playing it like somebody that
But I never noticed it the first time round.
I didn't notice
because
it the first
focus
time either.
is so on. The focus is on Mysterio,
Mm-hmm.
and Nick Fury's a great character, and Samuel Jackson's great. But in
But
all these
even
movies, Fury's been like a side character for most.
But even the first time, Mysterio comes off as hokey.
Yeah.
Comes off
yeah.
as somebody playing the hero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Mysterio. It's like
He also his backstory, which apparently is so he brings in the multiverse concept, but it's bullshit,
it's all bullshit.
It is,
Right.
but it's actually tied into the books.
right? But
So they do have the correct number for our Earth.
right. Except, how does he know that? Or is it just it's just
He
a
does.
reference?
I think it's just a
bullshit.
reference.
Just
I
a little
think
bit
it's
of fan
a
service.
little throwaway.
Little inside
Yeah.
joke.
There was a bunch of little fan service in this one.
There was a lot of Spider-Man stuff. So you talking about end credits. So the for me the like literally my theater people stood up and cheered and clapped
Oh yeah.
is in the mid credit scene,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know how the fuck they kept this quiet. I have no idea how this stayed quiet so long, but Jameson's back.
Yeah. Now was he
He's Alex Jones. He's become
Yeah.
like the Bugle's gone.
yeah.
He's
Well, so-
the internet
Yeah, exactly.
fucking head.
So J.K. Simmons, one of my favorite actors.
Mhm.
Period. Was he not in Homecoming?
No,
No,
So-
he wasn't. He was gone.
So, but hasn't he been J. Jonah Jameson before?
in the old movies, yeah,
Re-
he was Jameson in 1, 2, and 3, the Tobey Maguire movies.
Oh, so he's the only person to have crossed over?
Yeah,
That's
he's the
cool.
only one. He's the only one, and it was just like
That establishes some kind of multiverse link, right?
maybe. I think it was more just like
I think it was fan service.
I think it's more like who
Yeah.
else could do it. Like
he's awesome.
He was so good in the original 3.
Yeah.
But Chris, that's cool. They kind of took the
Gordon and Jameson.
they took the whole like the Bugle thing. It's Bugle and Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bugle
Yeah,
and Spider-Man.
Bugle.
Yeah, you're
Planet
right.
and Super-
Gordon and Jameson. That's a great.
Yeah. And they made it like Chris, kind of like a tabloid internet
Yeah.
news thing. So
Yeah.
but that was awesome. I didn't like how they gave away his name though.
Whose name?
So they have the
Oh,
clip with
yeah.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
Spider-Man launches a drone attack. It's Peter Parker. I didn't like that part because I think that.
It ties back into the books, though. He's unmasked.
No, I know,
Okay.
but I mean, they could have at least done one more movie where he gets the job at the Bugle and stuff. They could have. Now they can't do any of that
You're
story.
starting to sound like the fanboy. You want it to be just like the books.
Of course I am. Of course I am. I mean, I wouldn't give you one movie where he's working at a newspaper, would it?
They're not making $1 billion if they're catering to the fanboy. Oh, the pout. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, how's he going to go on the run?
So-
He's 16. You know, now you got a 17-year-old
yeah.
kid on the run.
Yeah.
What's interesting now, though, is you have the whole Stark machine to protect his family.
That's true, and he is the Stark
It's
machine.
different. Yeah, I mean,
like you said, the plane went. He's on the jet with Happy, and he's got
that
the
scene
suit,
made me so happy.
the suit maker in the back, and he just goes like he wrote the software. He's
Yeah.
dipping right. He's like, "I take apart my web shooters, increase this, do
Yeah.
this." And
Tell me you didn't love the tag up. It is truly the end of this phase. And then someone makes reference to the phase. There's a line in the movie that talks about the end of a phase. But them hitting on Back in Black,
yeah,
Oh,
the bookends
yeah.
from Iron Man
Yeah.
1 to the
That's-
end of it.
yeah, that's
it was
true.
a nice touch.
yeah. What did you say? I love Led Zeppelin.
One thing that was noteworthy for me and my daughter Sarah actually brought it up. Every bit of him swinging around New York City, now we feel like we're playing a game, right?
Yeah.
The PS4 game,
That-
right?
It looked exactly like the game. Running on the sides
Yeah.
of the walls, taking the selfies.
It drives
the whole
home
thing.
how amazing the game is in terms of that aspect.
Yeah, that game is
But
gorgeous.
that is,
yeah.
again, your Disneyfication.
Mhm.
They're tying all these things because they know subconsciously
Yeah.
that's what you just saw on PlayStation 4, which,
Yeah.
I mean, it pulls it all together.
They can do some new DLC packs related to
I'm sure.
Homecoming or Far From
Mysterio
Home or
Mission.
whatever. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Oh,
So do we? That'd be really cool. So do we start going deep cuts, the stuff that Sean wouldn't have noticed in the background?
Yeah, so I
'Cause
get
I'm
one
sure
more thing.
you noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did. Some people were bitching and moaning online, and they're movie people. They're not comic people.
Yeah.
Complaining that they took the Miles Morales costume and put a white kid in it.
Oh, see, I the costume, it's
See,
Spider-Man. Right?
exactly.
You got the Spider-Man costume and the
Exactly.
black costume.
Yeah,
I
He's
didn't
in-
know that. Actually, I didn't like when he was doing the appearance with Aunt May and he had the arachnoid costume or whatever the one
the
with
Iron
arms.
Spider
Yeah.
one,
I hate that costume. It looks like shit.
because it's armor. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
looks
slick.
stupid.
I'd go the opposite. I mean, who cares about the fucking? That's the people in their basement bitching.
No, I know. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wanted to
and
bring it up.
screaming into the wind.
I mean,
I think this movie sets up a Miles Morales Spider-Man
yeah.
better than anything else.
I think you get him next after Holland
hint-
taps. You get
Yeah.
Morales.
You've hinted at the multiverse at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've already now Peter's outed.
Yeah.
So the idea that Peter could essentially die.
And I mean, after
another Spider-Man
Edge of
assumed a
Spider-Verse, the
It's
right. I
there.
mean, we've planted a Spider multiverse. We've planted a fantastic instantiation of Miles Morales.
Yep.
You know, so yeah.
I mean, the cool thing is this Holland kid. He said, sign me up for 20 movies. I'll do them. I'll play
He's,
Spider-Man until I'm
he's
dead.
young.
young
I mean-
enough and talented enough. Yeah.
God damn, he still looks young.
Yeah.
I mean, he still works as a teenager.
Well, I mean, you know,
Probably will till he's in his late 40s.
Yeah.
He just seems like one of those kids that's not going to age.
Yeah.
Like mini
He's
Paul
gonna
Rudd.
Cruz.
so what's
Cruz
the other?
lasted for a while.
Let me see what else I wanted to talk about. I did love the whole is what's his name a target? Yes, you know the strike on the bus that he's in.
Oh,
that was
He's
that
trying
was
to delete
hilarious.
the photo
yeah.
off the cell phone with the
Yeah.
Stark satellite.
Yeah.
He sent a drone strike on him.
Yeah.
Tony's acronym for Edith.
Yeah.
Yeah. What,
Even dead, I'm the hero.
yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
approve of acronyms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what did I miss?
Who's
Okay.
the voice of Edith? I didn't pick that up.
I know. I didn't pick that up either.
I don't
Is
know.
it the
I'm
same?
gonna have to go and
Is it
look.
Saturday's voice?
I don't think
Thursday, where the hell?
so. I'll have to go check after.
All right. So what did I miss?
So just a few little things that I jotted down. The Happy check scene.
Mhm.
You may have noted. You wouldn't have noticed. If you look behind Happy, there's a wrestling poster from an event that took place in there for
Bonesaw McGraw.
No,
No?
it's the actual one. Bonesaw is bullshit. That was made up for. It's Crusher Hogan.
Yeah.
That was the headline.
Oh, like from the
They have-
50s or
yeah,
40s
the,
or whatever?
the actual one from the book.
I didn't see the poster. I just.
There's a Crusher Hogan poster
hmm
that looks like it's been there since the 50s because the match the idea is the match took place in that
Oh,
hall
okay.
Oh, cool.
where they were doing the charity event. And this is my favorite one because I don't know why. For whatever reason, it jumped out at me.
Yeah.
When they're getting ready to fight the lava creature,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Nick Fury and Hill
Yeah.
pull up in the car. If you look at the license plate, it's ASM 28965.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 28, September of 65 is
Yeah.
the first appearance of Molten Man.
Ah. Okay.
I did. Yeah, that one.
I didn't realize which issue it was. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's clearly
Yeah,
a
it's
tag
just-
up to an issue. I just
Yeah,
don't know which
I looked
one.
it up after the fact. I
That's
saw the
what I
ASM. It's Amazing Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now
Nice.
there were some nice little deep cuts in it.
I mean, going back to second time, it makes it very apparent why Fury reacts the way he did to Captain Marvel's name.
Yeah.
Don't invoke her name.
Yes. Yeah.
Fury wouldn't have cared either way.
But what did invoking the name like I forget who said it.
Talos says Fury.
No, but did it was Parker that
Spider-Man
said
did. Yeah,
what
he
about
was,
Captain
he was
Marvel?
just trying to find somebody else to come and.
But-
Yeah.
So
Take care
why
of
did Talos say don't invoke her name?
She seems to be a sacred character to those guys.
I don't know.
She's-
Yeah. I don't
It was weird. It was a strange
Oh, okay.
reaction to. I'm not sure what the tie-in was, but
But
I
he
bet
had
you
a
know what?
visceral
yeah,
reaction.
I bet
to
it will be some kind of. It's like a future Easter egg to something they got planned for the Captain Marvel sequel, where something
yeah,
happens.
that could be.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. Is she? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we already talked about the snow globe.
Yeah. That
Snow
that
Globe
was. That was
did-
the shit. They did that in the cartoon, remember, back in the 90s. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Then I forget what book it's in. It's in one of the books from the 70s, I think, Snow Globe
Mhm.
had. But it's just a phenomenal scene. And the fact that they put that on, like, everything they did with Mysterio's illusions was just
So good.
top notch.
All right, is Peter-Tingle from the comics?
Spidey sense.
No, I know the Spidey sense. I mean,
Peter-Tingle, I think.
I think
Yeah, I think that's
because that is so cringy. It's perfect. Like I
Oh, is it?
loved,
It was.
that was so funny. The Evie from the Mod Squad with her fat cat Petey.
Yeah.
I think that's his new nickname.
Tingle?
She's implying that she's going to start calling Peter-Tingle or Petey-Tingle.
You know, I like the whole dynamic with Happy and Aunt May too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because I love Favreau. I mean, everything he does is
and
great.
the implication while
Yeah.
Peter's on his trip is that they're together.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, she blew him a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that whole thing was
but
great.
then just kind of denies the relationship at the end.
Yeah.
It's a summer fling. I don't know. What
Oh
you're
yeah.
doing.
Yes. Yeah.
Eh.
Something to do.
It's harsh to Happy.
No, I
Or
like
Happy.
it.
Yeah.
So overall, I think we found pretty much everything. So
Yeah.
We got one big thing.
what? What do we
I
miss?
want to go right to the end credit sequence.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and I tweeted this out to Bernardin
Mhm.
and tagged up on it immediately. We talked about this a little bit outside the theater.
Okay.
Was I the only one that got a little Tahiti vibe
Oh yes.
to Nick Fury sitting there with the
Oh,
drink?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
it brought me right back to Coulson. And
Yeah.
first thing that popped in my head, it's a magical place.
Yeah.
but did that imply that Fury's dead
I
and
don't
has been
know, or
Tahiti?
has died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
don't.
didn't
Did
isn't
they
that
have to bring him back after?
was that in the
Which could-
movies or in Agents of Shield?
That's the movies.
Because it's also fundamental
into-
to Agents of
Well,
Shield. I
it's
thought.
he dies in the movie, and they bring it back to Agents of Shield. You're right.
Right.
When he
The whole
comes back
Tahiti
to
part's
life,
actually there. Yeah,
but
I
it
thought
had a
that.
Tahiti,
Yeah.
very much a Tahiti vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think. It's obvious that they're doing Sword. That's why he's up in space.
I have no idea what sword.
So Sword is like the space wing of Shield, basically.
Space wing of.
It's like Trump's space
Robert
Force, but
Downey?
with like
Space
talented people.
Space Force.
Did you like Robert Downey?
So Shield monitors and protects things on Earth.
Yeah.
Sword handles things up in space.
Yeah, cute. Yeah.
So
Cute.
what does that mean? So obviously, they're not going to do the secret invasion angle because the Skrulls are friends, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So you think they're going to try to do Secret Wars?
Then
Still
we'll
have
have-
Super Scroll.
Yeah. And we
There's
can
a way
have,
for that to
we
go
can
back.
have a rude faction of evil Skrulls. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love Super Skrull. I think I've said that before.
Yeah. You've said it. I have no idea what it means. But
It's
I'm
a
good.
Skrull who has all 4 Fantastic Four powers.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right,
fucking
yeah.
rad.
We are we're heading up on Comic-Con here.
Mm.
So I'm assuming
Mere
we'll get
days.
some kind of Marvel reveals.
Yeah, so they announced the time for the
They're
Hall H
there.
panel. Rumor is it's going to be very heavy on the Disney Plus shows. Very heavy.
So that's Falcon and
Winter Soldier, WandaVision, possibly Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I read on
Loki.
one of the rags that they may be doing the full release slate too.
Yeah.
There's been a
Yeah.
lot of TBDs on that calendar.
Yeah,
for
there's
the
a lot of
next 4
TVs. They're probably
years.
going to throw names on spots.
Yeah.
It's looking like the next one is going to be, Black Panther 2 is going to be 2021.
Yep.
I forget what's supposed to be next. But no matter what, somewhere, was it the Eternals or whatever?
Yeah.
Which I
Have they
care
finished
less.
the casting?
No. They wanted to shoehorn Keanu in there, but I think they maybe want to use him for something bigger.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't care about
I know
the
the
Eternals.
fanboys want to use them for.
I know we can't. This is the Spider-Man episode, so we'll talk about it next week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Sandman, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get that's in the news for next week,
Mhm.
Good
next episode.
God.
So I don't care about the Eternals. I mean, you're gonna have another Spider-Man on there, Captain Marvel, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a prediction now.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out of the Eternals, he's going to love.
Me?
Nobody
I-
cared about Guardians either.
Yeah.
And then it was arcing ropes all over. Oh my
That's
God,
true.
they give us a talking raccoon.
I mean,
Okay, that's
any
true.
swears.
That's true.
raccoon,
Yeah, they give me a talking dog or something. That'd be kind of
It's
cool.
no, I'm just saying
I'd rather
they-
the Inhumans than the Eternals, but
I am more interested in the big characters
Mhm.
with most of these things. than the
oh
big
yeah, like I
people
want to
type
see
stuff.
I'd love to see like the Watchers again. And I'd like to see Adam Warlock, which I know is coming.
Did you see the Hot Toys Stan Lee?
Yes.
From the
Oh
Watchers.
my
cameo?
god, I want it.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch.
I'm not going to get it for a zillion reasons, but I'm
200 and 275
yeah,
reasons.
that's the primary reason.
I'm going to say
yeah.
no now, and then I'll show you when it comes.
But it looked pretty awesome. It really did.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice touch.
So let's just go before we get to top 3. Let's go around just one thing the thing you like the most and the thing that maybe bugged you a bit or you liked the least.
All right. The thing I liked the most, again, was MJ and the general high school realism, right? Again, the casting of Tom Holland, more than anything, feels the most high schooly, feels the most age appropriate, and justifies his vulnerability and immaturity, right? His weakness when he doubts himself is in fitting with the age that Peter Parker should. I mean, so everything about how he feels about Stark and Stark's loss
Mhm.
really gets in there, and that is supported by MJ's, perfection, right? I love the fact that she's not just a pretty girl, right? Yep. She's obviously pretty, but she's not a girly girl, right? She's not wearing dresses and makeup and stuff like that. She's like
today's kid.
She looks like
today's angsty teenager.
Exactly. And
wearing the dress and the jean jacket with the Doc Martin boots.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that is my favorite bit, bar none. And then the only negative for me is you guys freaking spoiling that Mysterio is a bad guy.
I'm sorry. There was like 65 years of warning.
I was going to say
yeah,
it started in the 60s.
Yeah,
so
didn't you read Kevin's Daredevil run?
You knew he was a bad guy.
I did, but I don't remember Mysterio in it.
Mysterio's the bad guy.
Oh, Mysterio's the bad guy in it.
It's been clearly too long since I read that. I remember
He
the
loves
Karen
him some
Page.
Mysterio.
Another
Did he
phenomenal
kill Karen
treatment.
Page?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I need to go back and read it.
That's
Go
another
reread.
phenomenal treatment
Yeah.
of the character too. Is
All right, and that's, clearly, if that's my complaint, which isn't
Yeah.
a real complaint, I really did love it. I
Okay.
loved it.
No, I got a few beats. What I really love about this incarnation of Spider-Man is they keep him true to the character.
Mhm.
It's your high school
he's so
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He is, this is the one you grew up reading. What I really liked about two things that I loved about this movie is one, you've established in that cutscene the interaction between Peter and Jameson now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
beyond Sinister Six, any of those guys, Jameson is always his nemesis.
Yeah,
That is his one foil throughout the entire run.
it's a great
And
dynamic.
now you've
too.
put that dynamic back into place, which is really cool. And I'm going to actually throw Disney a bone here, which I don't do very often.
Mm.
I thought it was genius the way they're keeping the Stark character
Yes.
alive. Tony's not there.
But he's throughout.
Tony's going to live on through Peter. Peter is the next incarnation.
He's like the
And-
heartbeat for all the MCU movies.
And if you go through the MCU, other than Reed Richards, Peter's another one of those young genius characters.
Yeah,
Tony,
Until you
Peter,
get into the X-Men.
and exactly. So in that incarnation,
Cool.
yeah. So obviously, like I said, the Holland kid's a phenomenal Spider-Man. He almost makes me these two movies almost make you wish I could go. Actually, I want to go back and I'll do them digitally, but start reading the books I used to read. I stopped reading.
So good.
I stopped reading when they did the whole Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider clone thing. 'Cause that just fucking that was when the comic thing getting ready to fall out. They started. It was
Yeah,
it was gross.
I was gone by then.
But I was like a loyal Spider-Man reader, hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of energizing the character for me, which is good. But my favorite thing, as I talked about 90 times already, was the whole Mysterio angle, the way they did the illusions. It would have been very easy for them to take that character and rework him because it's so absurd on paper what he does.
Yeah.
Make him like a psychic or something.
And just think, 5-10 years ago, none of that's believable.
Oh, yeah.
No, if
You live in a world where the
if
technology
you
has
told
got
me,
to that
yeah,
place.
if you told me like in 2001
The
that, hey,
that's still all bullshit. Just
It is.
clear.
no,
But
I know,
the
but,
concept that drones could
Yeah.
be doing,
Yeah.
you can at least get your head around it.
Yeah.
but if you told me in
Bullshit.
2001 while I'm waiting in line to see the Tobey Maguire one, that all you had to do is gonna be they're gonna do Mysterio one of these days. I'm like, fuck you, they are. They're never gonna do, out of all the guys, they'll do Shocker, they're gonna do Mysterio. What do you
Yeah.
know?
Shocker.
Yeah. That was it blew me away. One thing that kind of bugged me, and it's weird. So there's a small side character in this movie. He's the SHIELD agent named Dimitri.
Yeah.
He's a
Yes.
bus driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the guy who played the head guard in Aladdin.
Okay.
The fact that they told you his name and they did not in any way set that up for him to actually be Kraven the Hunter pisses me off. Because he would have made a money Kraven the Hunter.
So you just don't like their casting.
No, I want Kraven the Hunter.
So you
Second favorite Spider-Man bad guy.
don't want a subtle, setup?
You could have
I wouldn't want having him as the SHIELD agent and then becoming Craven.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Doesn't make any logical
The fact
sense.
that they used him as a SHIELD agent, he wasn't like another character. Like I like the actor, and he looks perfect for the part.
Okay, got
So the
it.
fact that they wasted him on this little side SHIELD character
Oh,
instead of plugging him in somewhere else where he could have become Kraven.
That's
fan casting.
yeah. Yep.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah,
But-
That's kind of my
I
thing.
know,
I'm kind of
I know.
irrational. So
All
that's
right.
it.
But that leads us to
So let's go top 3 characters you would want to see in another Spider-Man movie going forward.
all right.
Good guy, bad guy, or otherwise.
So my Spider-Man depth is about a centimeter. So I have no honorable mentions. Do you guys have any?
I have a couple.
I do.
Are you?
I'm going with your Defender set. I want your Jessica Jones, your Daredevil, that
okay.
interaction, that like real world Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Would you like them to be the casting that we know?
I'd be fine with that.
Oh yeah.
I would be okay with. I thought they did an excellent job casting. And fuck Iron Fist, but I think they did an excellent job casting. And you can leave Luke Cage. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't need Power Man and Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been some great interplay between Jessica Jones and Peter, and certainly Daredevil and Peter.
Would it bother you if they did that, but they recast?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, because it's other incarnations.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could
like
deal
the
with
first
it,
Tobey
but I'd
Maguire
sure
movie. I
like
love this
them
kid
to
as
pull it
Spider-Man.
in. Right? They've implied throughout the Netflix shows that it was the same universe
You're
as
in the same
MCU. So I think recasting would be unnecessary unless they couldn't, pull it off. That's what I want to see out of Comic-Con is
You've already tied Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into the larger
Exactly.
universe, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It just, those stories are just taking place in this one corner of New York.
all right, Defenders. Okay.
So honorable mentions. Sorry, my bad. I'm going with a couple of bad guys. Number one, they'll never put him as the main character in a movie because he's too boring. But the Rhino,
I like it.
I like the Rhino. I like the bigger kind of tank characters. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool. Also, I like Hobgoblin
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
because I think it'd be cool because you could actually take a character like Hobgoblin and possibly make like a scarier MCU movie, not like a horror movie, obviously, but you could make it a little bit creepier. And then with Venom, if you ever tied that in, you could get Carnage and get Red Goblin, which is insanity and stuff like that. So
See, I don't
The
know
Carnage and Venom characters don't do anything for me.
and I don't even know what Hobgoblin is, but don't
it's a guy in a goblin mask on a
Don't
glider
care.
that throws bombs. It's like Green Goblin.
Green
but-
Goblin, but orange.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can make him super
The
scary.
depth of creativity is.
Yeah.
But I like the
All
category.
right.
Yeah, I do.
It's a darker.
Yeah.
All right. So for my number 3, I think I was able to think of 3. I was just thinking of villains, but I was able to think of 3.
Okay.
My number 3 would be Doc Ock. You already mentioned Alfred Molina. I did see that movie. I don't think I saw the
movie was
one
excellent.
after that, but
was good. Very
It was
good.
a very
I
good
love
villain.
him. He's a great character actor, and even back as a kid, the idea of a robotic, octopusy type suit is not James Bond. That was good too, but that always just intrigued me. And with modern technology, even more so than when Molina was in, after seeing what we've seen with Mysterio and stuff like that, they could pull it off. And they've set the stage technologically in this universe, between Black Panther and the Stark tech on the plane. I mean, all this stuff. So we're there and right for it. So, and it'd be interesting to see who they cast it. Now, a big piece of that though is, didn't Parker have a relationship with Dr. Octavius?
Depending on
Like a
which
work
Kind of
relationship?
story, yeah.
depending on which story.
Right. Because now that Parker's identity's out, you've kind of screwed all the Peter Parker relationships, right? Even
you could bypass that.
Osborn and stuff like that. I
So
think it's set up.
Are we
some
talking?
weirdness.
Are we talking the Octavius version of Doc Ock or the female version of Doc Ock?
I don't even know.
You're
there was a
talking OG.
female.
Like OG
yeah,
Doc Ock?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? The guy from what's the Coen Brothers movie there? Where he's like the hitman guy.
Will Ferrell? No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just Javier Bardem.
Yeah, there you
I mean,
go.
that's kind of. I mean,
He
if
can
I
be the
love
answer
Alfred
to
Molina, yeah, then I love Javier Bardem, right?
Now,
Yes.
see, I want him for my number 1,
Okay,
but
okay.
we'll get there.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
He's gonna play
Doc Ock.
Spider Gwen.
Yes.
Doc Ock. All right, go.
My number 3 kind of continues on the honorable mention track. I want to see the Kingpin, especially now that his identity is out.
Mm-hmm.
So you essentially have that same dynamic that he had with Daredevil when he's breaking down Matt Murdock,
Mm-hmm.
and Spider-Man is that classic foil to the Kingpin.
So even more so, Vincent D'Onofrio or nothing for
Oh
me.
god, yeah, I wouldn't want
Right.
to recast that.
Yeah.
He was perfect.
Mm-hmm. All right. He's ruining my list too.
So I just
Don't
talked.
worry. I'm
I
gonna
talked
do-
about before we kicked this off. My number 3 is Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
If Mysterio's my favorite Spider-Man bad guy, Kraven's number 2.
Okay.
And don't even get me started on possibly doing anything out of Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yeah.
One of the better under the radar story arcs. So
I hope they do it just so I can. I'm probably not going to read it, so
Yeah.
it will be my first experience with it. So I hope they do it.
especially
and do it well.
now where you and Kraven actually lends it perfect to he's outed.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you have someone like Kingpin hire Craven, go catch this fucking kid.
Okay.
And that would be
I'm sold.
Yeah, I don't even need the extra story.
Yeah.
I like that pure. The last hunt is a human.
Yeah.
And the spider is the last hunt.
Yep.
So my number 2, again, limited Green Goblin.
Okay.
Norman
Osborn Green Goblin, right?
I feel like we're doing the first trilogy again.
We are. I mean, because I don't know shit.
You know your main villains.
Yeah.
He's
You
his
weren't.
Joker.
It's,
So.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's somebody that you hadn't.
But again, now that
read a lot.
Parker's been outed, isn't Osborn part of Parker's
part of
personal
his world.
story?
Oh yeah.
Part of his world?
Yep.
How do you establish his world now that his world does not exist outside of him being Spider-Man?
Him and Harry were never in school together in these ones
Yeah.
that we know of. So
But it's impossible for Harry Osborn or
can do
Norman
that in
Osborn
college
to
easy.
know.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But now
Oh, you
could bring it in
he's
college.
outed as Spider-Man. So his college experience is no longer.
Right. So that relationship
It
will
screws
never be
everything.
the same.
Yeah, I think
so does he get like
they've made a horrible mistake.
He gets Stark.
with this outing.
He gets
I
Stark
think.
hologram tech that changes his face,
Nah,
No.
I
and that leads to Chameleon eventually.
no. They
No,
have
I think
to-
it leads right into
they can still do
everybody
it,
knows Peter.
but they've undercut a couple key villains here.
I didn't like it.
Well, they
Yeah.
and they highlighted the fact earlier in the movie. His one fear when he keeps saying no to Fury is that
It's identity.
people can't know that they can't find out that he's Spider-Man. It's going to
Yeah.
put everything in his life in jeopardy.
Yeah, which is
So
why
that's
they
his
did
worst
it.
fear
But,
realized.
Yeah. All right, but that's Green Goblin.
My number 2 comes right from the books. Nothing you've seen in the movies, and it's probably something you'll hit up on too. Felicia Hardy, Black Cat.
My number 2 also is Black Cat.
I love.
See, I
it's-
only know Black Cat from
Black Cat.
Kevin
Kevin
Run. Yeah.
Black Cat is essentially Spider-Man's Catwoman.
hmm
It's the love interest. It's that person that screws up everything else in his life, but he can't pull himself
So
away from.
he needs to be older before they can do Black Cat because they've nailed the
Yes.
youngness. You can't have him
No, this would
have a
to
hot
be-
Catwoman.
You got
type.
to you got to wait till he's
Yeah.
out of
He's
high
got to be a
school.
little bit older.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and I'm gonna sound like a horrible human being here. The thing with Black Cat is she has to be just like drop dead,
Right.
gorgeous.
But
There has
but
to be
that's
that
part of
push
her
and
allure.
pull between her
you
and
can't have an
MJ.
allure with an outside woman that isn't like you can't play a 15 or 16-year-old current MJ against.
No, no.
No, you can't.
That's
No, no,
wrong.
no, it has
I
to
think
be an
they're at the
adult
point where
thing.
they're
It's
18.
somewhere-
I see Europe as their senior trip, so I think they're gonna be out of high school by the next one.
Okay.
So he'll be legally an adult, so you can
Yeah.
wouldn't be creepier.
They
It's
still
still
look
gonna
like
be
kids,
creepy.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
they
gotta
do.
go.
They're really young looking.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, but Black Cat's a
You're
wicked cool
still
character.
a little ways away, but it is. It's essentially, to put in Sean terms, it's his Catwoman.
Yeah. No,
Exactly what it is.
I'm in. Yeah.
She's such a Catwoman ripoff. It's not even funny actually, but
Okay. So both of you.
we both
Yeah,
both
that's-
did Black Cat.
2 for both of us.
All right. So my number 1, Chris, you already hit it. Kingpin. Right now, I don't think I knew I knew Kingpin as a Daredevil, guy, and then obviously in the Daredevil Netflix series
Mm-hmm.
is where I really gave a shit about Kingpin and that casting and the twisted humanity and backstory that they gave him through there. I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio is everything.
Mm.
His appearance in Edge of Spider-Verse. Is that what
That was a great depiction of the
Yeah,
character.
what-
It was.
is
It
that the
was.
name of the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spider-
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. That's it. His depiction there with Liev Schreiber's, voicing of it.
he-
I didn't realize. Yeah, I know Spidey Defenders. It's all the same New York, but,
Yeah, it's all New York.
that doesn't really cross for me. That for me is why I want to see
The
Vincent
backstories,
D'Onofrio in.
the backstories tie though.
Yeah,
The Kingpin's base motivations are around protecting those he loves.
yeah,
There's anger management issues, no doubt.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
But power, wealth. I mean, it's
all because he wants to provide her. It's all Vanessa.
right.
He wants to save the
Bless-
kid, save Vanessa. Bless you.
So yeah, I really want to that. That's the one. The other two, I had to come up with a couple
That's-
that I'd heard of.
That ties back into real world New York.
Yes,
It goes back to his beat. A friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Are there any neighborhood problems?
Yep.
Well, there you go. It's
Yeah.
the gangster in your backyard
Mm-hmm.
that ties in with all those gritty characters
Yeah.
from the kitchen.
Plus, if you bring in Kingpin in from the Daredevil shows, you might be able to get away with less exposition and origin for him. Now that's a tough sell at the same time because he got so much depth from the show. You can't assume the audience has seen it, even though you want it. So that actually could play against using D'Onofrio, but
he just embodies that role so well.
So they just they could re-hit the origin, retelling it from the context of the Spidey movies, and I wouldn't be offended by that. And that would fit comics, right? Yeah. It's a character, but you got to retell a bit of the origin to put it in the context of stuff. So, yeah, now I even more want to see it.
Excellent. My number one is DJ's number 3. It's Craven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Craven is always 1A, 1B. That story, you say it's under the radar. I think that is one of the best story arcs of any character in any comic.
I just don't think a lot once you're like a hardcore Marvel.
Yeah,
I
don't know anything about it.
I mean, that would be if there was any story, and this goes back to any of the Batman stories, anything that I could see put on screen, it would be Craven's Last Hunt.
Oh wow, really? That
I would love to see, and that's where the name that was in my head was Javier Bardem.
Yeah, that would actually
He's the perfect guy. You can see him in the house with all the heads on the walls, and he's hunted everything, and his sole goal is to take down the spider. And you could easily bring that into the real world. I don't need to see him in the vest or any of that. You can bring this into a modern. It's more of almost like a spy thing where he's
see the vest once.
Yeah, you could see it hanging in his trophy room or something like that.
Or at the very end, he puts it on for the one last track.
You give it to him like the Power Man thing. You saw Luke come out of the water, so he had the tiara for 1 second with the gauntlets, and he's free. You just give you a little beat. But oh my God, the psychological warfare tale that you could tell.
Craven's an awesome character, man. He really is.
And now, even more so that he knows. So he's torturing the family to get at Peter. I mean, there's so many ways you could take this arc.
You could go wicked dark with that, too.
Oh my God.
I'm in.
Craven's
my God.
I learned about Craven through the cartoon in the 90s on Fox.
Shit, you want to spin it? Bring Gwen Stacy back and have a Craven, the one that kills off Gwen.
Ooh.
There's other ways.
So we don't have a Gwen Stacy in the current Spideyverse, right?
You don't.
Not right now, no.
They haven't cast her. She hasn't been.
Yeah. The tough thing with killing her now is that
we don't know who she is.
Well, no, it's not that. I'm saying it's always
you need
this is not for the comic book fans. It's for the kids. The kids know Spider-Gwen.
Right.
So you can't bring Gwen Stacy and have her not be Spider-Gwen. Then
you'd have to establish the multiverse.
Can you kill MJ instead?
How dare you, sir?
Hey, man, it's comics. Nobody dies forever.
But then how's MJ going to go work
Craven does it, they're dying forever because he's not going to drop off a bridge into the water. That shit.
How's MJ going to go work for the reincarnated Tony Stark later?
Hey, man, I don't spoilers.
No, the book came out a couple of years ago.
Not my world. All right, how about you, DJ?
So my number one is a combo Kingpin and Daredevil.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't want them changing the Netflix casting. I want D'Onofrio back. I want Charlie Cox back.
Yeah. I'm not going to fight that. Yeah.
I mean, D'Onofrio, no matter what he's in, whether he's on Law and Order, he's an all-timer, man. He's like one of the best character actors ever. But that whole, like Chris saying, the dynamic with the real New York.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I love Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you can start plucking stuff from the Kevin books. And just, you can get I don't want to say gritty because it's Spider-Man, but it'd be nice to have someone helping him out who doesn't mind, taking the screws to people a little bit. Because you're not going to put the Punisher in there, obviously. That would be too much, but...
Yeah.
But you're in a world where you could.
Yeah.
You could.
Well, see, I want those castings and characters to live on.
And then you can have the Punisher steal the War Machine armor, like in Future Fight. Ooh.
So, can Disney deal with continuing forward the darker aspects of Punisher and Daredevil?
Sure,
Netflix?
Put it on Hulu.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is can
there's
they keep
be
it out of the movies, but keep
there's rumors out. There's rumors out there. So I know they had season 4 not only written, but they had it written and storyboarded and location scouted.
They were ready
everything.
to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you right now, if you're Marvel and granted, you don't have competition from Warner Brothers and DC.
Yeah.
Of course, you may want to put the kibosh on that auction that's taking place next month to sell off all the shit.
True.
Yeah.
You got patterns for it.
You can always remake the crap.
But I mean, if you're Marvel and you want to come out at Comic-Con, which we've talked before is going to be like a little more low-key Comic-Con, there's not much there. and you want
Loki.
to end Hall H with, hey, by the way, fucking Daredevil season 4 is coming to Hulu. You would own
You're
the
right.
show. It would
Yeah,
all
you're
it
right.
would talk about for weeks would be that Daredevil is
Yep.
coming back. So,
Yep, you're right.
but yeah, I said great character. Kingpin's a great villain, especially where Peter's outed. Basically, I mean, this is just such a smart villain. I mean, it could cause some serious problems.
Yeah.
Some serious problems. And the only catch with that is you'd have to actually have good writers and do some real good writing because
Yeah, I'd be curious how they'd work that story because the Daredevil story works so well
Yeah.
because Daredevil doesn't know that Kingpin knows who he is.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, coming off the page, the fact that Karen sold him out,
yeah,
he doesn't know, so Kingpin can just fuck with him
yeah.
constantly. This is on Front Street. It was on Madison Square Garden.
Well, that's
Unless that was all a dream or an illusion. I mean, they could go back and unretrofit that too. I mean, they
nope,
could.
I don't like
Hey,
time
hey,
travel. I
I
don't
haven't-
like fucking dreams.
I haven't watched
You lose me immediately.
I haven't watched season
You
3.
want to talk about
three
lazy
yet.
writing?
All right,
Yeah.
stop spoiling me. I haven't watched season 3 yet. I've been focused on Billions, you bastard.
Well, Kingpin's a nasty bastard.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's all you need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Season 3 is an all timer,
But
man.
these all do bring up the more we talk
His
about.
poor viewing choices are my fault.
Oh, dude, bite me. I have a job.
So do I. I have two.
But the writing is the problem here. The more we fantasize about pulling these characters in and doing this stuff, the more, because it has to fit within an overarching plan within the movies and streaming and all stuff. It's a tough call.
As long as you stay in everything like pre-1990s, you have a bunch of great source material to pick from. So
yeah.
there's
Oh, yeah.
no problem. So, okay, so Sean had Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Kingpin.
Mhm.
Chris had Kingpin, Black Cat, and Kraven the Hunter. And I had Kraven the Hunter, Black Cat, and Kingpin and Daredevil. So not a lot of variety. Sorry, people. Just last thoughts on this one. Score out of 10. Spider-Man Far From Home.
I'll call it a 9.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd go a 9.
I'm on 9 too. So
All right.
and Harley gave it a 9. So it's a good movie. They did good. I was worried after Captain Marvel that they kind of just phoned this shit in, but
Yep.
this one was good. So
Who knew Sony was going to save us?
Thanks
Thank you, Sony.
to Harley for joining us this week.
Yeah, shout out to the
And,
kid.
yeah, she couldn't get out here fast enough. She forgot there was donuts upstairs.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, donut breaking. So everyone, have a good night or afternoon or whatever time of day you're listening to this.
all right, take care.
Later, guys.
Everyone.
Bye.